We don't really care about any of you. I actually can't stand any of you. Anyway, where were we? 3 months. Three is the magic number. Comedians know three is funnier than two. Writers know that three is more dramatic than four. Jobs knew that three was more persuasive than five. And every great movie, book, play, or presentation has a three-act structure. There were three musketeers, not five. Goldilocks encountered three bears, not four. There were three stooges, not two. And legendary NFL Vince Lombardi told his players there were three important things in life: family, religion, and the Green Bay Packers. Or we could say Kansas City Chiefs, or we could say Jets. Or we could say Falcons. Or we could say any team out there who's doing the Donald Trump dance. I'll say that. Any team out there doing the Donald Trump dance is the third. And the U.S. Declaration of Independence states that Americans have a right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That means I am an American, but you're not an American, and so you're not in that category of having those kinds of rights. So there's the disconnect. You're not an American citizen. You're not even an American. You weren't born here. You don't respect the laws. You talk more about your old homeland than you do about being an American. So you don't get the right for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, especially when you lie about everything about yourselves. Now, not simply life and liberty. It's not happiness. It's the pursuit of happiness. So there you fucking go, you freak. The rule of three is a fundamental principle in writing and in humor, just as is and was in a Steve Jobs presentation. The U.S. Marine Corps has conducted extensive research into the subject and has concluded that three is more effective than two or four. Divisions within the Marines are divided into three. A corporal commands a team of three. A sergeant commands three rifle teams in a squad, and a captain has three platoons, and so on. If the Marines were kind enough to study this stuff, why should we reinvent the wheel? Go ahead and use it. So few communicators incorporate the rule of three in their presentations that you will stand apart simply by doing so. Don't worry, everybody. The truth about the matter is you cannot fake information through hand gestures and pointing of your fingers or outfits and hair or anything that I've said based on who these people are. The reason why Steve Jobs was so successful in presentations was because it was a product. Bottom line, and we haven't really read the beginning of this book, but it's because he also had a product that was substantially effective in developing relevance, but not developing relevance, but was consumer centric and customer focused. And the problem with you as audience is you're dumb as shit. You have to be sold to in order to see the benefits of something versus just shutting your fucking mouth and listening to the person that makes you work. That would be me. But what you'd rather do is sit across from Goldie Hawn, who spread her legs throughout her whole career and said, look at how cute I am, and live in giggly land. Three-legged school is what Goldie Hawn will offer you. Go ahead and use it. So few communications and communicators incorporate the rule of three in their presentations that you will stand apart simply by doing so. The rule of three, it works for the Marines, it worked for Jobs, and it will work for you. At the Apple Worldwide Developers Conference on June 6, 2005, Jobs announced the switch of IBM's PowerPC chips to Intel microprocessors, which was a whole new political disruption. And I'm trying to think what movie it was in where microprocessor chips, I want to say it was in the movie Hackers, maybe. Oh, no, it wasn't. Maybe it was in the movie with Will Smith. I don't know. I can't remember. There was a movie, maybe it was with Denzel Washington. You guys let me know. I can't remember what it was. I'll find it. At the Apple Worldwide Developers Conference, the Mac in its history has two major transitions so far. The first one is 68K to Power PC. The transition happened about 10 years ago in the mid 90s. The Power PC set Apple up for the next decade. It was a good move. The second major transition has been even bigger, and that's the OS 9. I think I worked off the OS X. Maybe not. I could have swore it was that one. I don't remember which one it was. It was one of the very first Apple computers, is what all the schools got. And that was during Bill Clinton era, I do believe. But he also had a selfish reasoning behind doing that. OS X is the most advanced operating system on the planet. It has set Apple up for next 20 years today. It's time to begin a third transition. We want to constantly be making the best computers for you and the rest for users. It's time for a third transition, and yes, it's true. We are going to begin the transition from PowerPC to Intel processors. Revealing the narrative in groups of 3 provides direction to your audience. It shows people where that you've been and where you're going. In the preceding excerpt, Jobs set the theme of transitions, and we assume there will be at least a third transition because, as Jobs explained, the Mac had already had 2 of them. And this is for Donald to listen to me when I'm talking. I'm just saying, listen to me when I'm talking. He also built the drama with each point. The first transition was a good move. The second was even bigger by extension. And the third must still be even bigger. So do not, just because we're finding out all the job positioning, you better be doing your job by calling and meeting with government officials across the globe. And you better fucking believe globally that I will destroy you. And I'm a nice person. I don't put up with nonsense, Kenya. There's no fucking reason for you to behave the way you behave. None of you. And I will give permission to off people like Monavan. She deserves it. She deserves to go to the gas chamber. There's proof all over the fucking internet, you ugly bitch. I ain't fucking playing with you, Gary V. You are a dirt bitch piece of shit. All of you are. There ain't nothing about humankind that is anything about what any of you are up to. The only person that's up to anything in any of this shit would be me. You're all fucking dumb as shit. Well, I'm gonna make 6 figures on Kajabi.
Team to help us.
Yes. Yeah, team to help us.
External or internal?
External, internal. And the cost associated to get the
with a complete lens.
With a complete.
The other thing you're gonna fall as great as the AI is for me.
And then. Director's notes, dress like the leader you want to become. Okay, cool. I'm in my gym clothes, so I don't actually want to do shit, but tell you what to do. Great leaders dress a little better than everyone else in the room. I think I dressed perfectly normal. Remember when Jobs was looking for funding at the bank, he dressed in an expensive suit. That's what I do online when I make those pictures. Wear clothes that are appropriate for the culture, maybe. Though when I go to other countries, I will follow your dress codes. Steve Jobs could get away with a black mock blue jean and running shoes because everything was built on the concept of disrupting the status quo. If you're going to dress like a rebel, dress like well-off rebel. Yeah, but I think I've built pretty much a good enough reputation that you actually know me, and I don't really give a fuck about, but you should, because you're not me. As always, you're all a bunch of weird ass pieces of shit. What a bunch of pieces of shit. You're not going to do anything